My name is Shikha Pandey, and I will be talking about the diffusion of Indo-European languages. Now, we are discussing two theories today, the nomadic warrior theory and the sedentary farmer theory. Now, the nomadic warrior thesis was first conceived by Mariha Gimbutas, who suggested that the first Indo-European speakers were the Kurgan people. Now, the Kurgan people originated around the area of Russia and Kazakhstan. They may have possibly lived between 4000 BC and 5000 BC. Now, they were primarily nomadic herders and warriors. They were the first to domesticate livestock and horses, and the migration was mainly due to constant search of grazing lands for their animals and conquest. So, as I said, they originated in the area between Kazakhstan and Russia. They went through Europe as they searched for grasslands for their animals. They migrated eastward to Siberia, southwest to Iran. They migrated into Central Europe, diffused throughout Eastern Europe, into Western Europe, and then, as I said, into Iran. So, they took their language with them, and they gave rise to new secondary branches in their regions, and they conquered places and influenced the Celtic, Italic, and other European branches of language. Now, the second theory that we're discussing is the sedentary farmer thesis, which was developed by archaeologist Colin Renfrew, who hypothesized that the first speakers of Proto-European languages lived 2 millenniums before the Kurgans in Anatolia. Now, the Anatolia Hearth is this area which is known as present-day Turkey today, and the first speakers of the Indo-European languages, according to this thesis, are said to have lived in Anatolia around 2,000 years before the Kurgans. They then diffused westward into Greece, marking the origin of the Greek language branch. They diffused towards Western Europe through Italy, Sicily, Corsica, and the coast, then forming the origins of the Romance language branch. They migrated northwards toward northern France, continuing along the English Channel onwards to the British Isles, and perhaps starting the Celtic language branch. They diffused northwards towards the Danube River in Romania and westward to Central Europe, marking the beginnings of the Germanic language branch, and then eastwards toward the Dniester River in Ukraine, and then as they migrated eastward to the Kurgans at the Dnieper River, migrated to form the Indo-Iranian languages as they went to the south shores of the Black and Caspian Seas through Iran and Pakistan. If I were to take side with the theory, I would take side with the sedentary farmer theory, because there is research findings relating viruses to language origins suggests that this theory holds. There's also archaeological evidence that early farming came to Europe from Anatolia, and today there are vocabulary terms used in Indo-European languages that further support this claim. On top of this, there is very little archaeological evidence that suggests any mass invasion of Europe during this time period, because most of the Copper and Bronze Age cultures of Europe from this final Paleolithic and Neolithic era appears to be uninterrupted. So for the nomadic warrior diffusion to be true, there must have been some kind of mass invasion of Europe, which does not seem to have occurred. The Kurgan hypothesis is too idealistic. A single group could not have possibly conquered so much of the known world. Otherwise, it would have become an empire, and today we don't know of the Kurgan Empire being such a gigantic group that had this much of an impact. Also, recent evidence has been proven that the sedentary farmer hypothesis may be correct because language was most likely spread in a more peaceful way. Also, geographically, Anatolia is in a more central location than the Kurgan homeland is. This is because, if you think about it, Anatolia is in Turkey, present-day Turkey today. And even in present-day Turkey, Turkey is a country that is in Europe and a country that is in Asia. Part of it is in Asia and part of it is in Europe. And because the Indo-European languages are prevalent from places such north as like Ireland and UK to places to southern Asia such as Pakistan and even India, they have a really large span. And in order for the spread to be this wide, the region which the Indo-European languages started in must be in between these two continents, Europe and Asia. Therefore, Turkey is in between these two continents, and Anatolia is a location that is more probable to have been where the Indo-European languages started compared to the Kurgan homeland, which is in Russia and Kazakhstan. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it.